Buongiorno a tutti, welcome back to my little kitchen here in Lecce in the south of Italy. My name's Francesco and today I'm going to make another recipe using the last handful of zucchini blossom, and this is going to be the third that I've made from one tub of zucchini blossom, which is pretty amazing. I'm going to make a classic risotto today using the blossoms themselves, some shallot, butter, white wine and pecorino cheese. I'm going to add some pancetta, which I'm going to crisp up, and I'm going to use the fat that it renders to toast the rice in when I begin. I'm going to use a chicken broth, so it's all very simple ingredients, and I hope you enjoy this recipe. If you do, please give me that thumbs up, do leave a comment and do subscribe to the channel, and come back and follow me for more. Let's cook. For today's recipe you are going to need arboreal rice, zucchini blossoms, white wine, shallot, pecorino cheese, pancetta, butter and some chicken broth. Set one of the blossoms to one side to use as the garnish later, and then snip away the ends of the others like so that you can remove the stamen from inside. Then give them a rinse under cold water to get rid of any pollen that may be left inside or any small insects. Make sure to also wash the blossom that we're going to use as a garnish, rinse it out from inside like so, and snap away the stamen carefully. Set this to one side to dry with all the rest. Next, we need to peel and finely chop a shallot. This one, as you can see, was rather large and in two sections inside, so I just used the larger one. Chop it as finely as you can. Next, we're going to take about a 3-inch piece of pancetta, remove the rind and cut the rest into strips and then into a fine dice. These ingredients don't seem very much, but there's more than enough here to make 2 good portions of risotto. All we need to do now is to cut the zucchini blossoms into strips like so, and then we're ready to get started. In a saucepan I have about 3 cups of chicken stock bubbling away. You could also use vegetable. And in the frying pan we're going to begin heating up that finely diced pancetta. We want to fry this until the fat renders out and the pancetta becomes crispy and golden. We're then going to remove it from the pan, turn off the heat and add the finely chopped shallot. I recommend you turn off the heat because the shallot is so finely diced that it could burn otherwise. This is the best way to warm it through gently until it becomes translucent. When it does so, we can go in with the rice. Now turn the heat back on and keep stirring and toasting the rice for 2 or 3 minutes. When you see that the rice has a slight sheen to it because it's absorbed the fat, we can go in and deglaze with half a glass of white wine. Keep stirring until the wine has deglazed the pan completely and all of the alcohol evaporates away. Then go in with your first ladle of broth and begin stirring and cooking the rice. Keep stirring the rice occasionally on a moderate flame and adding a little broth at a time as necessary. You don't have to be stirring constantly, just don't walk away. It's not going to take that long, it's going to take about 20 minutes in all. After about 15 minutes we can go ahead and add the zucchini blossoms. Of course, these are very delicate and will soon wilt and cook within 2 or 3 minutes. Keep adding the broth and stirring, as this will encourage the rice to give off its starch, and that's what's going to make it nice and creamy. If you're up to it, tossing the rice is also a very good way to build up the starch that's going to make it nice and creamy and delicious. You want your rice to be cooked through, but to still have a little bit of bite to it. You don't want it to turn into rice pudding. When the rice is cooked, make sure to turn off the heat before we begin with the phase which is called mantecare. This is when we add the butter, as you can see here, and we're going to stir this in very vigorously. This is going to build up the real creamy consistency of the risotto. But of course, it's not going to be the butter alone. We're also going to add that finely grated cheese and work that in too. The only thing you need to remember is to make sure that the heat is turned off at this point. And again, if you give it a nice toss, particularly if you do it in slow motion, then you're going to get the best and creamiest result. Serve your dish on a nice flat plate, and once you've laid out the risotto, lift it up and tap it on the base like so to let it even out all by itself. Now we can go ahead and add our crispy pancetta. Make it pretty, why not? Add the zucchini blossom as a finishing touch, and there you have a little work of art. And in case you're wondering, yes, you can absolutely eat those zucchini blossoms raw. Which is why I decided to pluck mine apart to make it easier to eat and enjoy along with the crispy pancetta. Buon appetito!